That was interesting. I hate to say it, but I think we failed the podcast and going live at 3 o'clock though. But
Oh well.
That's what sucks about this whole ordeal.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You can't be perfect.
You'll get over it.
The question is, will the podcast actually get over it? That's the question.
It decided to start right when we mentioned its name.
That's what I thought.
You
know, combining that with the podcast posting things by itself for the holiday season, it's not good, man.
It's not. It is not. So you might not recognize us, even if you frequent the channel, because we're not on screen. But you also might not recognize us because it's been so goddamn long since we've been here. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Frantic Talks podcast. We're on episode 90, if I counted right.
Woo!
Now with 100% less video.
It is 100%. Yeah, now with 100% less video. If you're joining us live in the stream, you'll notice that the episode is called New Year's Apocalypse because literally everything is breaking as we're trying to record this. We would have gone live at 3 o'clock. I got on at like 2:45 to get everything.
Goddamn Murphy and his law.
Damn Murphy's Law, right?
Right.
We tried to use the video form of Discord, which we're actually using off screen right now. You guys can't see it. We can see each other and we can talk to each other. The problem is that it is cutting off our faces at certain points. And if for some reason that stops happening, I might throw us on screen here. But it is essentially cutting in and out. I just lost Freakshow here. Half the time my face is half cut off, half not. So we tried Skype, right? And when we got into Skype, they kept resizing their faces for some reason. Like you could see Grunt and Freakshow full screen, and then they jump back down to half screen, and they jump back up, and I couldn't control it. And then right before we went live, Freakshow's audio stopped working because we were like, "Oh, I think we're about ready." And then,
Are we ready?
Are we?
Freakshow, say something.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm talking
something.
and it's not muted.
Exactly. So if we lose him at some point, I wouldn't be surprised.
On the upside, this is the first time in probably 50 or so episodes I've actually been able to see Frantic while recording.
It has been.
So I know I'm not just talking to a picture of someone.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of sad. So we'll get to what's going on in the past couple of weeks, why we haven't been live since I think the beginning of December, something like that. And that was me and Freakshow even. So Grunt and I haven't even been in the same freaking podcast for about a month and a half now.
Right.
We'll get to
I'm
all
not
that.
going to know how to do this.
Let's go over some of the quick, fun little links and stuff. So for those of you listening or watching, joining along, this is going to be primarily audio. So you can do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to pay attention to the screen. Although we will be showing some things on screen. Yeah.
Draw stick figures, tape them up on your screen.
Just like, is there a drawing
I
option
had
in
for,
OBS?
like, the first podcast.
The first time Freakshow ever joined. Oh shit, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the first time Freakshow was ever on a podcast with us, I think it was Destiny, like the end of Destiny, right? Or was it Games of the Year? I don't remember which.
I think it was Games of the Year for last year.
Yeah.
So this would be roughly his 1 year anniversary of being on the podcast. He didn't have a mic, or not a mic,
I didn't have a microphone?
Didn't have a microphone, so he just sign language the whole time.
No. How would you have been able to see that, though? I didn't even have a camera either.
We just guessed.
I just sent smoke signals.
It was Morse code. Go back and listen, and you'll hear it in the background, like. Boop, 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 boop.
How are you going to hear the Morse code, though? I didn't have a microphone.
No, it was coming through on my end. So I was receiving the signal, and I'm just hearing boop, 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 and I'm like, oh, so Freakshow's choice this year appears to be
SOS. Oh, wait a minute. Grunt, was there a game called SOS that came out? I don't know.
Oh shit! And I'm over here picking shit out of my finger right now because I just got like a splinter. That felt great. It's all good. Apocalypse,
a splinter,
guys.
But was it a master splinter?
It's funny you say that.
It looked like a fucking hair.
Yeah, my t-shirt.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it.
Oh. Just clicked on me. I'm wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt for the people at home who can't see this and are just staring at the fucking logo. Okay.
Oh my god.
This has been a productive podcast so far.
Oh my god.
Prediction.
This is a podcast of 2017.
This might be the best of 2017. As we're going to try and mention
right
as we're going to try and mention our best of 2017, this podcast might beat out Steven Totillo getting his ass raged at by me. We'll find out.
Oh, that's right. That did happen this year. I forgot about that. Oh man, that's some tough competition there. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
that was some god tier level shit.
Yeah, this stuff is this is top notch already. Shit. You gotta wonder when someone's making something, and then do they know it's gonna be this good? And no, we didn't plan on this. This is nonsense, guys. All right,
it just happens.
I mean,
okay,
yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it. All right. So let's go over some quick links. How you can continue the conversation with us. We're going to talk today about
like Toon Link, Dark Link.
Don't.
No, you're taking the episode and derailing the success it's had so far. Stop that.
Oh yeah, I'm derailing the success. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So links and junk. So if you guys want to continue the conversation,
we have a chat for that.
We do. You guys so okay, I have to mention this. Freakshow's face is frozen in the cheesiest fucking grin on my screen right now.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
He's just got this little grin. He's like sideways. Like, oh man.
See,
he's having a good time, I can tell you right now, guys.
There we go. That's going on the internet.
Oh god. Okay, if you're watching the video, all the links are on screen, but for the audio listeners only, the best way to get a hold of us, I'm at FranticJ3 on Twitter. The guy next to me that you can't see, that way, is at Freakshow.
Oh, that way.
Well, normally it's this way.
Well, see, on my screen, you're actually pointing to me, so...
Well, he's next to me. That's at Freakshow187, and then on the end there, we got Onyx Spartan, ONYX Spartan. At least on screen, that's what the links say. And then where I would normally be up top is facebook.com/Frantic Talks. I'm normally below that link. In the middle, twitch.tv/Frantic Talks. Shout out to anybody who has joined us live today. I believe so far we just have Storm, but that's okay. And then we also have FranticTalks.com, the mothership, where you can go and find all the articles that we like to post, which, man, there's been a lot in the past month, and I'll get that up on screen now, actually, so you can see the website. FranticTalks.com, on screen now, where we have podcasts, our weekly columns, we have wrestling, we have video games, and there's also FranticTalks.com, Magic the Gathering side, where we talk about some of that stuff. It's been a bit since we posted something there, I'll definitely admit. Been slacking. It's okay, though. So... let's go over the quick articles and stuff. So if you guys are curious what our content schedule typically looks like, since the holiday season has been screwed up, typically on the website we get a podcast posted every Monday. We have every Wednesday a weekly column written by either me, Grunt, or Freakshow. And then we also have every Friday is what we like to call Wrestling Friday, which we've just phased out the Chronicles of Awe, which was our kind of starting point for all that. We've gotten that into a hiatus. Yeah, We've gotten that into a hiatus for now as the Frantic vs. Freak Show, which is this FVF7 Part 2 and Part 1 that you can kind of see on screen. We have that going now full force, which is just me and Freak Show doing wrestling booking with our own fantasy roster that we put together and we both agreed on. And we're just kind of seeing who can book the better show, quote unquote, which is ultimately not our decision on who wins, but it's up to you guys. And then every Saturday live at 3 p.m. Eastern, usually, because, we've barely been live, is this podcast that you're listening to right now. We will go live on the Twitch channel if you guys want to join us and jump in on the fun, have your name shouted out to you like we did to Storm and so many others in the past. So that's what's going on here. Although this whole past fucking month has been ridiculous.
Oh my god.
And we will get to that because, well, actually it's about time right now. So how we start this podcast off, that when it isn't the fucking 8 minutes of nonsense it's been, we like to ask one simple question, and that question is, Grunt, how was your, I guess, month and a half or whatever it's been?
Month and a half. It has been so long since we've done a podcast, and since I've even been on one, because you and Freakshow did one about a month ago.
The second.
Yeah, so towards the start of the month. The reason I was not joining for that one, even though it was...
Because an Amazon worker shit in driveway?
It was not, no. Luckily, it was not.
I still can't believe I let us roll with that article.
I can't believe it either. I threw that out
about dude taking a dump in a driveway. We've reached a new low here on Frantic Talks, guys.
I threw that out as a joke, and you're just like, all right, fuck it.
Screw it, I don't care. Got nothing really else to talk about, so might as well. Oh, but the reason I was not present basically for the past month and a half, outside of not having a podcast in general, I had some oral surgery I needed to have taken care of, so that kind of knocked me out, both literally and figuratively speaking, for a while. So
I wish you
I'm
would have
still
sent like really high text to us. I've had friends who have been like high on some shit, and I mean like medically because of whatever work they've had done.
right.
And the conversations we have are hilarious.
I luckily was not like that. I was just full of Novocaine for like,
Okay.
oh man, I don't actually remember how much they gave me, but I do remember they had to keep giving it to me every so often. So it's like, oh, that's wearing off. I can feel that. That hurts.
When
All
they
right,
do stuff
jab
like
another
that,
needle.
they normally give you like a shot and a half to 2 shots for every like tooth.
Yeah, I don't know how many or how much they actually gave to me, but it was interesting because um, I was also drooling like a dog for the next like 4 days after that.
Oh yeah.
So
I believe that.
it was quite the experience. That's the biggest reason why I wasn't, on the last podcast. Otherwise, I really, really badly wanted to be there, especially when I found out you guys were going to talk about Destiny 2, because I love that.
Yeah, I do feel bad that
Um,
you couldn't be there. And then the rest of it's my fault. We'll get there.
but outside of that, I've been doing stuff with the holidays, Christmas, and that stuff. It's cold here, so I'm staying inside now. Let's see what else. I've been working on a few projects for the Frantic Talk side, which, as a matter of fact, I suppose I could announce one right now. The
Go for it.
next one that'll be. So several years ago, I used to do something on my own personal site called Bowl-Bound. What it was I took whatever version of the NCAA football game I had at the time. It was, I think, NCAA football 14, the last one there ever was and will be.
Which is a sad note in and of itself.
Yes, it is, because I really love those games. It's the only way Illinois will actually do good. We can't all be like Ohio State.
Well, to be fair, we only won the Cotton Bowl. Ooh, it's the Cotton Bowl.
Well, that was still a good enough
Bowl.
excuse for you to go out and do your best Stone Cold impersonation last night.
That was great.
I thought I got gifted a gallon of Captain Morgan.
Are you sure it's not your fault?
It isn't.
You might have got gifted it, but they didn't make you drink it.
Details.
So I did that for several years on my own blog, but I took the college bowl games and I took the teams and I ran a simulation of it, wrote down brief highlights of what happened and posted it on my blog, basically making these super scientific, I use air quotes for those listening via audio. Nice air quotes there, Frank.
Oh, I can't. Oh, that's right. You can see me.
Yes.
Usually
yes,
I'm doing dumb shit while you're talking. Like,
I'm going to be able to see that. That's so amazing. Please keep doing it.
You can still do dumb shit while we're talking. Don't let that stop you.
90 episodes not being able to be seen really bites you in the ass when you can be seen. Shit.
So with super scientific predictions, a lot of the times I was totally wrong. The game let me down. Last year, I think it was, I decided to do it for like 1 week during the NFL regular season. And I just got busy and never went back to it. So I didn't do it. And I'm like, I really like what Freakshow and Frantic do with, what's the name of it? TEW or TWE?
Yes. TEW, Total Extreme Wrestling, 2016.
Yes. I really like what you guys have been doing with that, with between Chronicles of Awe and Frantic versus Freakshow, because I loved it's similar to what I was doing with my kickoff and Bowl-Bound series. I really enjoyed doing that. So I'm like, hey, Frantic, Freakshow, what do you think about maybe me doing it this year for the NFL playoffs and all that stuff? And you're like, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. So
I mean, I like
probably next week, I'm assuming, after the New Year's. Well, it'll be next week for sure, because the next games for the NFL wildcard are next Saturday, as a matter of fact.
That's true.
I will be debuting somewhere, details to come yet, the kickoff on Frantic Talks. So what I'll be doing is I'll be taking the teams that are slated to play in like the AFC wild card game, whatever, I know sports. I'll be taking those two teams and simulating them through the current version of Madden NFL that I have, and I'll be posting the final score with my take on my take / brief recap of what happened in action during the game. So and I'll be doing that throughout the entire playoffs, all the way up until the Super Bowl, providing I don't just quit doing it.
What's going to end up happening is the Titans are going to win on Sunday, even though I don't want them to. For all intents and purposes, full transparency here, I'm a Titans fan for those listening that don't know. But what's going to end up happening is the Titans are going to end up winning, and then you're going to be simulating them the next day or whatever, because they're going to be playing in the wild card because that's the spot they're fighting for. And they're going to lose so hard, even in the sim, they're going to get their asses handed to them. And it'll be believable.
So it's going to be the fall of the Titans?
Boo.
All right, I'm raging.
Who are you? I don't hear you thinking of this shit.
What's going to be hilarious is if the Titans win in both my simulation and the real world.
I have opinions on that, and we can not talk about them. Let's put it that way.
So yeah, that's one thing I'm going to be debuting here very, very soon. I'm excited to do it. I hope everyone that stops by Frantic Talks enjoys it.
I'm excited for
it. Hopefully going to be kicking off some video projects now that I have an idea of what I'm going to do with those. That took me 6 months to probably a year to actually figure it out.
I always have ideas too, but I never go through with them.
So yeah, that's pretty much the past month and a half of what I've been doing has been looking towards the future and mainly just doing stupid stuff.
Seems fair.
Yes. So now who's next? Freakshow?
Yeah, we'll go to Freakshow. How was your past, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks? Because you got to mention it on the last podcast.
I mean, they've been good. Playing Destiny, Resident Evil, new Call of Duty, other real life stuff.
Have you visited the Corn Palace anytime recently?
No, I don't plan on it.
Oh.
No, I don't plan on that. You guys in Illinois can just keep all your corn titles to yourself.
Our cash crop is pumpkins. Thank you very much.
Is that why there's about 50 million memes of Illinois and corn on the internet?
People of the meme world of the internet
are never wrong.
Have not realized their mistakes. I see you just over there contemplating, my friend.
I'm just letting this happen. I'm like, you're talking about me? I see all these like Ohio corn memes, and I'm like, no, this isn't right.
Ohio is literally everywhere. Literally.
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, you're completely right.
So you didn't really have a very crazy past couple of weeks, it sounds like. Just games, and more games.
Yeah, a couple job interviews. That's about it.
Standard life stuff, then, it sounds like.
Yeah. So
I guess that leaves me.
Didn't do anything crazy, like go get oral surgery or anything. So.
Neither did I. For me, I'm kind of the reason that most of okay, so Grunt couldn't show up the one episode that I did with Freakshow, but then like the 3 weeks after that were the whole reason I'm the whole reason it didn't happen.
We were going to have an episode after that week, and you even canceled.
What the fuck was I even doing that? I don't even remember.
You canceled it.
I don't know.
A cheap date.
Well, I never thought about it that way.
I'm trying to remember. But now you mention it. I think we were out of town or something like that, and I forgot to tell you. By the way, next weekend's canceled. That's not a joke.
Wait, what?
Let me finish. Okay, so yeah, I canceled that weekend that we were supposed to do one. I think I was out of town. And then the next weekend I was moving. So I'm actually in a new area. It doesn't look much different because it's the same apartment complex, just a bigger apartment. And I'm in the same style room I was for the previous podcasts. I just have flipped the layout basically. So that's really the only difference. And there's a shit ton of shit in the background that you might have seen.
It's pretty disturbing, actually.
So you're not really in a new area. You're just in a different place in the same area.
Yeah. I literally moved my shit across the parking lot. That's what I titled the event on Facebook to have people come help me, and that's literally what we did. I think it was like it wasn't even a football field's distance.
Interesting.
It was that damn close. But I got all my stuff hooked up a couple of days ago, like yesterday or the day before. No, it was a couple of days before that. Got all that stuff, hooked up so we could do this podcast. But then, of course, Christmas weekend was the past weekend, and I was actually in Illinois. And then when the podcast would happen, I was in Illinois doing Christmas with family. And then I went to Indiana after that because that's where the lady friend's family's at. So I was actually pretty much out of town from Friday to like this past Tuesday. But then I've been back since then, so that's the good news. Next weekend, there is a Star City Games Magic the Gathering Grand Prix in Columbus, and me and my friends are going. So we're going to that all day, not to compete, but to just browse around cards and play games. Mainly Magic, obviously, but we won't be having a podcast.
Is it going to be a magical occasion?
I am so glad I get to see your reaction every time he says something.
You better bust out what's left of that gallon.
That's not a gallon. I'm drinking a Monster. It's 16 ounces. That's not a gallon. This is a gallon.
Grunt,
I'm fucking
the joke
Superman.
just went right over his head.
I still don't get it. It took me a minute to get Splinter. I didn't get this one. We were wasting so much time.
Your gallon of whatever alcoholic beverage you got.
Oh.
Oh.
Why would you say that when I drink a Monster?
Just because of your reaction.
Oh my god.
Alright. That was basically my week. And we had some articles come up. A lot of articles, actually. Let's go over the articles that have been posted since the last podcast, because there has been
about a month and a half worth of a month.
Jesus Christ, I'm still scrolling. Okay, so the last podcast, dealing with crap, as we already mentioned, the lovely Amazon situation, was posted on December 4th. It is now December 30th. There has been quite a few things posted. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been 26 days since we recorded, guys. It's been a while. All right, so I know I've had at least 2 articles, because I know the latest article was mine, and then the one right after this. So I posted an article titled Finding New Music, where I go over a lot of different ways where you can find new music in regards to like artists that you already like. If you say you want to find an artist that has similar styles, someone you already like, I kind of go over through all that. And it kind of links over to my previous article that I wrote where I gave you like a routine, or at least my musical routine, where like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I have a specific style of music, or I guess category of music that I'll listen to. So that kind of it's like a follow-up to it, essentially. So it was like, how the hell do I find all this crap? After that, we had the episode 6 of Frantic vs. Freakshow, Return of the Workers, where we have still been naming it after Star Wars, and it was actually perfect because we had people return in our storylines, so I really like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was really happy about that.
John, that we were naming it after Star Wars stuff until that episode. Not gonna lie, I didn't pay any attention.
The episode before that, what was it? I don't even remember. I can click into it real quick.
I don't know, because I name all of my drafts like just something stupid, just to annoy you, and then you name them whatever.
Yeah, so here's
doesn't like numbers.
Yeah, so the first episode was called Attack of the Clones because it was a duplicate, so it wasn't actually naming it that way.
I did actually name that.
Yeah, and I was happy with that name. And then FVF2 was Electric Boogaloo because, it's really hard not to say that. And then number 3 was Hostility. And then after that, we started going Star Wars. Episode 4 was A New Hope. Episode 5 was The Empire Strikes Back-ish. And then Return of the Workers. And then part 1 of FVF7, which is where we started splitting it week-by-week basis, get there in a sec, was A Force Awakens, followed by me just being bad at naming and calling it a mysterious mystery.
Wasn't the third one named Hostility because like everyone started to hate me?
think so.
Yeah, that's right. You had like 5 or 6 of them just be like, "Hey, fuck you." I was like, "That's a perfect name." So, Return of the Workers was on December 8th. Then we didn't have a podcast, and then Grunt's Grumblings, 3 little letters. Maybe it's on Screen RPG. I was gonna try and play it off, but I forgot it was the first fucking thing you said in the article. Where he talks about RPGs.
Sorry.
You're good. And then the final Chronicles of Awe to date, the Chronicles of Awe Countdown to Extinction, where at the end, Freakshow mentions that the Chronicles are going away, but he will most likely be coming back with something that is in the same universe. Whether it's the Chronicles of Awe or not, we will not say. But that is not dead per se. It's just that the Chronicles are on extended hiatus, is how I'm going to call it. Which then lead us...
The companies are restructuring. Making them less hostile.
different series, Grunt. Different universe. Okay. After that, we had the Tri-Weekly Freakly, the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy, where Freakshow ranked almost every numbered game of the Final Fantasy series. It was a really good read, really long read compared to what you normally read at Freakshow, so I was happy about that. Followed by FVF Part 7, Part 1, where we explain how now we are splitting Fridays, where I post a Friday, and then the next Friday is Freakshow, and it's just, we're both booking the same pay-per-view and shows leading up to it. So if you want to check that out, you can. I have a lot of fun writing that, and I'm really excited for next week, because my stuff that I've already kind of told you guys about is going to get even more stupid. I've been getting so out there with this shit, and I'm having so much fun.
You've just been going to like one extreme, and I've just went right to the other one.
Yeah, Freakshow's like, I'm gonna stay grounded, and Frantic's off here in fucking La La Land talking about candy canes and Candyland and how the Monopoly Man's gonna come steal his car. Like that's where Frantic's at, and Freakshow's over here like, I need this job to pay for my bills. I need to
Frantic's over there like, oh yeah, let me just fucking do this blood ritual and like pray to Satan.
Whoa. Hey,
that's what I was doing. It's pretty
rituals. Good. Oh my god.
There was blood rituals. Hey, Cody Rhodes, when he's in episode 7, I think he like yells at our CEO, like, "What the hell, man? I signed up to wrestle and not get caught in blood rituals and dudes getting raised from the dead and shit."
I do remember reading that. That's why I mentioned it.
I sometimes like to break the fourth wall and be like that, where it's like people are probably like, "What the hell is this? It's supposed to be wrestling. This is wrestling." The Undertaker's a dude who rises from the dead, and he's like one of the most popular dudes ever. Get off my fucking story. I'll write how I want.
Hey, I break the wall. I break the fourth wall every time with a nice subtle nod to Destiny. So
that's true. In every one,
single time.
If you can find them, I don't know what we'll give you, but it'll be something cool. If you can go and find those, anyone listening, he puts it in every single one of them. I think it's typically like weapon flavor text, right? Or not? It's not always that, but
it's not always the weapon flavor text. But a lot of the time, that's what they are.
Yeah. Most of them that I've noticed, the Freakshow hasn't told me about have been weapon flavor texts. Or I think there's one time where you put a line of dialogue in there.
Yeah, I put a line of dialogue from a strike in there at one point.
Right.
I know the latest one had Iron Banner in it. It's really hard to miss that one. And anyways, the only other article that would have come out besides the 2 FVF parts 1 and 2 of episode 7 was Frantic's Antics, my weekly column or tri-weekly column, where I did my albums of the year. Yes, they are all metal. Sorry in advance if you don't like metal.
How'd you get them to play if they're all metal?
You can kick them out if you want.
I mean, I know I can, but so. Those were all really good. Obviously, they're albums of the year. You can check those out and let me know your thoughts on both my listings and the different albums that I picked. That'd be cool. My number one, and then I'm going to share the story. My number one pick, the artist asked on their Facebook page, "Hey, what are your top albums of the year? Let us know in the comments." And I linked them the article and was like, "Guess who's number one?" Winky face. It's kind of like as a joke because I didn't think they'd click it. But then they responded.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. They responded, "Oh, dude, thank you so much. These albums kick ass, and we're glad you were number one on your list." And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm famous.
I think that's very cool.
They have like 5,000 likes on their Facebook page, so it's not like it's like I didn't like comment on like Metallica's page, and they were like, "Dude, thanks," which would have been amazing even then. But it was just cool because it's always cool when you get, the extended outreach of artists or famous people. And I guess I'm not arguably famous because they have 5,000 likes, but still.
It's cool, though, to see those bands actually interact with their fans, though, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and
And
that's what I like about it. It's
even
showing that
with
they're willing to do that.
them having 5,000 likes, they don't see every single thing that every fan posts on there. So
yeah, it was really nice to see them respond like that. And then I tweeted out my list before it was actually final to one of another bands on the list, and they favorited the tweet, so they at least read it. So it's pretty cool. I guess that's the benefit of liking the bands I like, where they have like 10 followers, and I'm one of those 10, and they're like, "Hey, check you out." Like, okay, so today
we like that guy.
we like this guy. This dude gets it. so today we're going to talk about a couple of things. We have one article to discuss. Freakshow sent it to us and said, "Hey, we should discuss this before we do our normal stuff." And the obviously, since it's the end of the year, we're going to talk about the games of the year. Although we kind of have a caveat with that, where most of us have barely played anything that isn't like Destiny or Rocket League. I don't know. I think Freakshow said he played Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
I played 2 new games. You already mentioned one.
And then Assassin's Creed is what you've played that's new.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure most of the games I've played this year aren't even from this year. Like Destiny 2.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. At Christmas, I got the BioShock collection because I wanted that. But, I mean, some of those games are 3 years to 10 years old. I can't say BioShock 1 is my game of the year.
Yeah, right. And I got Wolfenstein 2 for Christmas, but I haven't gotten to actually play it yet. So it's like, I can't, I'm not gonna. So we'll get to that here in a second. And we're also going to talk about our New Year's gaming resolutions. This was an idea I had where I was like, we should talk about that because I could probably talk a lot more about that than the games that I'm going to give my Game of the Year awards that I barely played. Simply because I know they deserve it. I don't know about you guys. But anyways, let's talk about this article.
You deserve it. Clap, 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 clap.
You deserve it. Man. Wrestling. All right, so let's talk about this article here that Freakshow had sent us. This is from The Verge. It is swatting over Call of Duty game results in deadly police shooting of Kansas man. We're starting off on a happy note. So what ended up
I was pretty happy, yeah.
This is Merry Christmas, everyone. So what ended up happening here is essentially, if you aren't familiar with what swatting is, it's the dumbest fucking thing ever. Don't do this.
No, it's not swatting flies.
Yeah, no, it is not. It is the furthest thing from swatting flies. I mean, I suppose flies could get killed in this, but more than likely not. Essentially what it is you call SWAT teams on someone. Sounds like a great Tuesday prank. And for the very various reasons of why you would even think of doing this, and as you probably guessed after hearing me describe that, if you didn't already know what it was, and hearing that Call of Duty was in the title, I can imagine you knew where this is going. Essentially, 2 guys got into some arguments over Call of Duty. It got so heated as to a SWAT team getting called on one of the guys online, and then somebody died, which so far we don't have any documented cases where swatting ended in this, but it was only a matter of time. There have been, and they link it in the article here, that there have been several cases where people have been severely injured due to something like this, but no killing yet. Obviously until December 29th when this article was published, which was yesterday. So there's not much to add to this. It's kind of self-explanatory. Swatting is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And
don't do it.
Don't ever do that.
If you're going to get so upset at a game to where you're going to, or someone online to where you're going to call a SWAT team on them, just first.
That's when you just turn the motherfucker off and just go outside or something.
Take a chill pill. Just turn the game off.
Go play RuneScape. Jesus.
I'm sure people get upset at RuneScape. Maybe not quite on the level to where they, SWAT someone.
I will say it's the same type of people.
Just go to RuneScape.
So probably.
Just fucking
right
cut trees for like 3 hours.
Yeah, just go woodcutting, idle woodcutting, and let that turn on some nature sounds.
Go beat up the cows by lumbering. Do something
in the game with nature sounds in the wood hacking, and just be like, this tree needs to go.
But
and that's
this tree needs to die in the most serene, peaceful way ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if swatting is dumb, if you're that upset at someone over the internet over a game, just cool it. All right, back off. Maybe go play some
reevaluate your life.
That too. Go play some RuneScape or Minecraft with some.
Not to mention how illegal this is. I mean, we haven't even mentioned that this is extremely illegal.
Yes, that's also another really good reason to not do it.
It's like a fake 911 call. That is extremely illegal. This is an even more dangerous form of illegal fake phone call.
Oh yeah, because to get the SWAT team on him, you can't just be like, this guy's so evil he put a cat in a tree.
No, you gotta be like he's like shooting up a church or some bullshit. You gotta be saying some really messed up stuff.
It's like he has to have a hostage situation, something like that. Like you gotta say some very illegal shit to get a SWAT team involved.
And it's worse than yelling fire in a crowded building, and that's a punishable offense. That's inducing panic. So don't do this. Seriously,
pretty much.
Like and
What's
it's even
interesting
funnier is that they say it's $1.50 bet. It was $1.50 game, like a wagered game, and it escalated to someone getting killed by the SWAT.
Huh.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is I don't know if the article from The Verge mentions it or not, but I had heard at least to where the person that was actually killed was a third party altogether. They didn't even have anything to do with the other two idiots.
Yeah, I think it does mention that.
Yeah, it mentions that. Yeah, because the guy gave the wrong address to the guy that was going to SWAT him.
Yeah,
that's my neighbor. I hate my neighbor.
Oh.
So yeah, just moral of the story: don't do it. If you're that upset at a game, back away. Maybe
just don't be a fucking idiot.
Maybe don't do something that is going to get your actions put in the next yearly document from the World Health Organization. Oh, whoops! Did I mention that?
Yeah,
that's a topic for a different day.
Or just overall, don't be a fucking idiot.
Or that.
Or that.
All right, so let's talk about games of the year. Now, on the background now, I just have Polygon's 50 best games of 2017, and there's some games in the thumbnail, but whatever.
Rocket League.
It did. So technically came out for the Switch.
Oh my god, I didn't even think that. That is how I got it to count last year.
So it came out for Xbox last year. Oh, Game of the Year. Came out
Is Grunt gonna pull this shit off with Rocket League 2 years in a row?
I mean, if we're going for it can be a specific console release, it had to have been released somehow in 2017. Yeah, that technically works.
What kind of bullshit is this?
Semantics. Okay. So I had about 3 or 4 games that immediately came to mind when I thought about what games out of 2017 deserve the year award. And then I started watching some YouTube videos about, certain people saying, "Oh, here are my games of the year." And there was a common
But did they wish you a happy Rusev Day?
They did not.
You know who did?
Happy Rusev Day. Who did?
The Sentient Podcast.
Don't mention him while we're on him. That's like
wait,
right
we're
there.
on him right now?
We're live on the podcast, and he's sentient. He's gonna be tweeting out while we're sitting here talking and shit. I don't want it.
The sentient rubber duck.
Oh god, is the rubber ducky sentient now? This is getting out of hand.
It is, yes.
He tweeted the other day saying that I totally won the Frantic vs. Freakshow from last week.
Ah, that was totally him, wasn't it?
It was. It wasn't me on the account. It was him.
I mean, you can't give away the illusion of the sentience. That's the joke.
Well, no, I had to.
We all know it's not really sentient. But that's the joke.
Do we really know that though?
No, we don't.
No,
we're getting a little too deep here.
It helps me sleep at night thinking that it.
I had to ask the Rubber Duck's permission to post on the account.
It's like, yeah, sure, you can just openly lie. Go.
Yeah, I walked in and the duck was like, "I'm sleeping. Just do whatever the fuck you want." And then he squeaked and then he went back to sleep.
That's the story, and he's sticking to it, huh? All right, so. Yeah. Anyways, so for the games of the year, there were a lot of common threads I saw, and from what I understand, this has been a really good year for gaming. I'm not going to deny that. I know there's been a lot of really good games that came out. So, I guess if I had to mention a game that I think is deserving of it, and I think we can kind of just do for lack of a better term, an open forum thing where we're just like, this game deserves it, this game deserves it. One that came to mind.
You get a Game of the Year award. And you get a Game of the Year award.
Just like Oprah fucking
You get a Game of the Year award. You get a one. The only thing this is going to be missing is an amazing rant of how the Grammys can go screw themselves.
Oh, I could do that if you want.
Hey, might as well.
I can easily.
We're here. Might as well just do it.
Just
Grammys.
halfway through the award show, while Freakshow or I are saying, this is what I really liked about this game. You just be like, yo, wait. This is why the Grammys need to do this.
And it's fucking ridiculous that they don't nominate lesser known acts. Some fucking bullshit. The upcoming artist of the year is like some dude everyone already knows of. That's not upcoming. He's already come. What the hell? I could go on for hours like this, but we're not going to do that. The metal category doesn't even get metal half the time. Fucking Ghost won it the other year. Ghost is hard rock. I'm not going to lie. I love Ghost to death, but they're not metal. They're hard rock.
No, Ghost is like Swedish hard rock.
No, they're occult hard rock. That is what they are.
No, they're fucking Swedish. All right,
I mean, that's fine. We don't say Swedish death metal. We just say death metal.
Are you sure you don't say Swedish death metal?
Unless you're talking about melodic death metal, where you have to distinguish between regular melodic death metal and Gothenburg death metal. No, we don't normally specify the location. Norwegian black metal we do, because that shit is 18 levels of fucked up. But no, not normally. There's certain cases. I don't say Swedish death metal because I'm Sweden. I don't say Pain of Salvation is fucking Swedish prog rock metal. I don't say Riverside Polish metal. That's not how this works.
It should be.
Oh my god.
Oh, did you hear fucking Death Beak, the South African death metal band with the Macaw lead singer?
You totally sent me them. That's not. It doesn't matter if they're from Africa. That's just cacao metal, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Wait, did you just say cacao metal?
Cacao, tuki, yeah.
All right. My prediction that I made at the very beginning of this, for this being the podcast of the year, is so far holding true. My God, this episode's amazing.
Don't jinx it.
But Ghost classifies themselves as Swedish hard rock.
Fucking podcast is tweeting out right now, little shit. Over here, like, hey, don't fucking doubt me. I don't doubt you. That's why you're tweeting, you little shit. Okay, so I'm gonna say a game. How about we do this? I'm gonna say a game, and you tell me if it deserves Game of the Year award, or at least mentioned in the conversation. All right, we ready?
No.
I mean, about as ready as I can be.
All right. Well, we don't have to do it that way, but we'll try it. Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
No.
No.
Okay. Super Mario Odyssey.
I mean, probably wouldn't be a Game of the Year award without a Mario game thrown in.
It's a Mario game.
It's a Mario game. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I realize I'm kind of just naming the shit that's on screen right now, but those are the ones that
Don't
come to
care.
mind immediately.
Don't care.
Never played it.
Never played it. Know a lot of people that did, though. They enjoyed it, so sure.
I've watched it being played and it looks cool, but...
Splatoon 2.
Didn't even know it was out, so I guess no.
Nah.
Maybe?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one other one. Cuphead.
It finally got released.
Yeah. It's like Dark Souls meets platformer in terms of difficulty.
I'd say sure, why not? You have to have a broad sampling for games of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a throwback to when games were stupidly, ridiculously hard.
Well, it's got the 1930s art style, I think, is what everyone loves about it, because of how meticulous they had to be for the art style. The amount of effort that went into it, and then the crazy level of difficulty is what it's
The
1930s
art style.
The art style mimics that of...
what kind of fucking insult was that? You're
I don't know.
Oh god. The art style for Cuphead, though, mimics that of the comics. The comics and the cartoons that were really just starting out around that time frame. So it proves that they can be horrifying. Because some of the stuff you see, some of the enemies that you've seen in screenshots and that look really scary.
It's a game I definitely want to play. So out of all those games, a couple of them I definitely felt like deserved Game of the Year. And when I was narrowing it down, another one I was going to say was Pokemon Sun and Moon Ultra, which were like the equivalent of Pokemon Black and White 2 when those came out. But those don't deserve it. But what I was going to say is there were two games that I definitely came down to, and a lot of the lists were like it's a coin flip. And oddly enough, you guys are just kind of like, oh, whatever. It was Super Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda, both of which I've actually played. Not much, but I have played. And basically, those were the two games that I couldn't decide between, with Resident Evil 7 coming up as a close third, because of how it like breathed life into Resident Evil where it definitely needed to have it.
Right.
So the reason Super Mario Odyssey is so crazy good is because they, again, decided to redefine how platformers work with something as simple as making Mario's hat an interactable thing. And it was crazy cool seeing all the crap that you can do with it. And then Breath of the Wild basically took open world and turned it on its head. To where everywhere you go, there's something meaningful, and it took Zelda in a whole new direction that was surprisingly not been done at this point. To
But that game's not upside down.
I know it's not. But
How can it be turned on its head?
Oh
It's
my
not upside down.
god.
I'm gonna kick you out. It is a figure of speech. You little shit.
You're a figure of speech.
So those were the games that came to mind for me, and the reasons I said are pretty much it's hard to kind of top that. Horizon Zero Dawn's a really good game, and having never played it and only knowing what I know about it being just really good, apparently, I couldn't really throw it in the conversation. Now, some of the other games I'd mentioned, like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, I just know that game's exploded, and everyone and their mother is playing it. What else did I play? Fucking right when I said that, someone on my friends list on Steam hopped onto PlayerUnknown Battleground. I shit you not. Like it just popped up in the bottom right corner of my. God, that game's sentient, apparently. Holy shit. I don't remember the other games I mentioned. I forgot that quick. Cuphead, obviously, for reasons we already discussed. And there was like one other. Whatever. But those were the games I was thinking of. Just like I couldn't come up with other games because I hadn't played them. Obviously,
Right.
Destiny 2 could be in the conversation because we like playing it so much. For me, it didn't make the list. So, Grunt, what were you thinking on games of the year?
Well, when I limited it down, I limited it to games that I had played myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which unfortunately, that's only been 2 new games that were released this year. Which basically it was just Assassin's Creed Origins and Destiny 2.
Oh yeah, that was
So-
Origins. For some reason, I thought it was Assassin's Creed Unity. I was like, wait, that's not right.
Oh no, that
No,
game came out like 4 years ago.
Wasn't that
think.
the last one before they took the break, or was there another one after that?
That was Syndicate that came out. That was the last one before Origins, basically before they took the break.
Okay.
And out of those 2 games, I love both of them for their own, their own reasons because they are different games. I'm a fan of both series, but I have gotten so much enjoyment out of the time from playing with Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I know there's the whole, controversy and, community is quite upset about a lot of stuff in the game.
Mostly Eververse.
Yeah.
I have gotten so much more enjoyment that I can look past Eververse and, I don't even have problems with Eververse. I understand what the community is upset about, but it's not something that I have, even with other games, it's not something I have put too much really care into.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I really enjoy Destiny 2. I have played it a lot since just September.
I was supposed to have played it a fair amount since September, and it's one of the only games out of the new year that I've actually played. I'm trying to think of what games I bought that I've actually played that were from this year, and I have no idea. No, either way. So Freakshow, what would you have to add to that? What?
Didn't you buy Doom this year?
Yeah, but Doom was last year.
All right. So, yes, you bought it, but Doom came out last year. You bought it this year.
Correct. Now Freakshow.
Freakshow, he's dead.
Is he?
No,
he's not.
I mean, I'm not dead. You guys are just like over there doing it up.
And another thing I don't like about the Grammys. So, do you know?
So anyway, I don't know. Like game of the year stuff, probably Destiny ranks up there just because the amount of time I've played it. But I'm gonna do exactly like Grunt did last year with Rocket League. And
You didn't even know it was an option until we mentioned that. Get the fuck out.
I was going to anyway because this game came out for the Xbox this year, even though it's been out for like 2 years. It was Killing Floor 2.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Rocket League. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do Rocket League.
I mean, I will.
Yeah, Rocket League for the Switch. Yeah, okay. Now, Killing Floor 2, pretty fun time waster.
I've played a little bit of that on PC. My buddy told me to get it, I think, last year on Steam. We played a couple of rounds in it. It's not too bad. I didn't, have crazy amount of fun with it, but it was interesting. I'll say that much.
I probably enjoyed it more because I actually played with another person and not just ran around by myself aimlessly.
Yeah, that's how I am with most games. If I'm playing with other people, I have way more fun. Wait, did Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time come out this year?
I don't know.
We gonna find out.
Please,
Hold on.
research.
I mean, you guys keep talking.
While you find out, I'm just going to talk about Resident Evil now.
There you go.
That face.
It initially came out in September 9th, 2015, but
220? Is that how you just said it?
2015. I don't know the release date on specific.
Check its Wikipedia page. It'll
But
tell
yeah,
you the
that's
release
what I'm
date.
checking. Well, interestingly, they didn't add the 4-player co-op until 2016, which is the version I played. Came out on the Switch in 2017, bitch! Boom, that's my pick.
Oh my god, I regret doing that last year.
So,
To be fair, I didn't even remember that Rocket League came out on the Switch this year. I just said Rocket League as a throwback to what I did last year. So about Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, about Resident Evil 7. It
And
was...
Grammys.
No. It's a pretty good game. It's definitely a throwback to...
Why does Artist of the Year get to go to the band
Shut the fuck up!
who just makes the most money? That's not Artist of the
I'm
Year
done.
creatively. That's Artist of the Year who has big pockets. No. You can continue.
No.
Moral of the story, Resident Evil is a pretty good game, right? That was what you're going for?
Yeah, it's a good game, and they have a DLC where you just run around and punch zombies to death, and you can also powerbomb the boss.
I mean, I can do that in Dead Island. Not the powerbomb
Yeah,
part, but I can
but-
dropkick a zombie. You ever
But his
dropkick a
whole-
zombie?
It's fun.
Have you ever dropkicked a zombie?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Well, his whole thing is he just runs around punching him. He doesn't use any weapons.
I mean, that sounds really fun. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fun.
There needs to be a gimmick of some sort in one of you guys'
What,
wrestling.
zombie kicker?
Yes. It needs to happen.
Well, isn't Frantic technically doing that?
And the zombie kicker Johnson?
No, it's Dwayne the Board Game Johnson. You shut up.
I couldn't think of anything better than that. I mean, zombie Nakamura is a thing. He hasn't
Yeah.
won a match yet. He might get drop kicked. We gonna find out.
Wow, so much for Nakamura being our only hope.
I mean, Nakamura also shut down my promotion in the Chronicles of Awe, so...
Yeah, I don't understand why we're using Shinsuke Nakamura, of all people, to be like the
'Cause-
catalyst for some of the dumbest storyline shit we've been pulling.
Why not?
Because Shinsuke Nakamura could probably get away with it in real life.
You might be right.
He'd probably also beat all three of our asses at once.
With one arm tied behind his back.
So, I know we didn't really give you guys a full-on, this is our game of the year. Or games of the year, rather. Essentially, we just kind of said, here's what we're thinking. We didn't give you a de facto
Rocket League for the Switch.
number one.
WWE 2K18 for the Switch. That came out.
Well, yeah. But I didn't think it was that good.
No, it was horrible. I was
Controversial
just...
opinion,
No, it was horrible. I was just throwing it out there.
Besides Rocket League,
Switching
Lovers
it
in
up.
Dangerous Space Time, because those got released on a platform this year. I think Switch on both of them, actually. But let us know what you guys picked is your favorite. We mentioned Destiny 2, obviously, Resident Evil, all those games. Big name games that did very well for themselves and are going to continue doing well for themselves. Oh, yeah, the other thing for Breath of the Wild is without Breath of the Wild doing as well as it did, we wouldn't have a Nintendo Switch.
That's true.
To hark back to when we talked about the
switched
Switch.
up the game.
I see the contemplation going through your face.
You
right
know, Nintendo started out making playing cards. Just gonna throw that out there to move away from this.
So without the Breath of the Wild, there would be no Nintendo Switch. And to call back to my when we first talked about the Switch, I wish I could pull up a clip of it, and if I would have had it like stored, I could have. But essentially, I said that if the Switch doesn't do well, Nintendo would be out of the console business. And that was kind of the general consensus that I was seeing. Well, Breath of the Wild was like the greatest game ever. Super Mario Odyssey hasn't done as crazy as well, but it's still doing amazing for itself. Needless to say, they're going to be fine. But that just speaks even more volumes to how well the game did, and that's why it was more at the top of my list than the other games. Just add.
Would you say that if it failed, they were going to switch up their business ventures?
Oh God.
And what really makes me mad is that no one likes the R&B genre, and they had it at the Grammys. Really, who actually likes R&B? Not me. So,
My God.
and they don't even like bring into the highlights the producers and stuff, because those are the guys that do a lot of work too. It's not just Beyonce singing on a track. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that.
Yeah,
So-
Dr. Dre probably.
Yeah. If it's Eminem, it more than likely was Dr. Dre. But
And if it's like any rapper nowadays, Dr. Dre's producing the track.
that's also a possibility.
Okay, I'm gonna play the role of Jeff Keighley and say we need to take a commercial break.
I'm gonna try and come up with a commercial off the top of my head. Crispy, woo!
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh,
The
man.
last thing I want to talk about real quick before we hit the hour mark, because we're real close to it. We had said gaming resolutions.
We're not over it yet.
No, we went
really
over our
surprised.
We
normal,
got a late start.
our 45 to 50
Really
minutes.
surprised we haven't went over it.
We're not done yet.
We're 2.5 minutes from an hour. So in 2.5 minutes, let's wrap this up. So we're going to talk about gaming
Great.
resolutions really quick. I figured we'd talk more about them, but we kind of focused on other nonsense. So it's quite all right. I know you guys were actually kind of struggling to come up with some, and it's fine. So for our gaming resolutions, obviously it's similar to a New Year's resolution, and who knows if we'll actually follow up with this. More than likely not. But
I'm gonna forget mine 2 days into it.
I mean, mine isn't very complicated. I don't know what you guys went for. If it was like playing video games with one hand while your other one was rubber banded to the fucking wall, then yeah, don't do that. But mine was just to play more games that come out in the year than it is. Like, play 2018 games. Like Red Dead Redemption 2. I really want to play that when it comes out. There's a couple other games that we're looking forward to.
Rocket League on the Game Boy Advanced.
No, dude, fucking Game Boy Color.
Oh my god. You know what's even
No,
funnier about
forget
that?
the color. Just go the
No.
original Game Boy.
No, you know what? We're gonna play Halo 2600. It's an actual game that someone remade the original Halo for the Atari.
So I was actually going to mention something similar to that. Someone remade Rocket League for the PlayStation with like really blocky graphics, and it looks fucking terrible, but it works and runs exactly how you would expect it to.
That's
Did
amazing.
you see that someone was remaking it's like Limbo for the Magnavox Odyssey?
Oh, I didn't see that. That
Yeah.
sounds crazy.
Man.
No, but seriously, like my resolution would be just I want to try to get to play a couple more games. So kind of like my resolution last year in a way was listen to more music from 2017, like as it was 2017. Listen to new music. I clearly did. I had over 40 albums to pick from this year alone from my top albums, and that wasn't even breaking the tip of the iceberg of some of the amount of stuff I could have listened to. And I'm going to keep it going well into next year without any real issue. So I want to try and get more game time in with games that aren't just Destiny, Rocket League, and Modern Warfare Remastered, because that's all I ever play. With a little bit of Madden sprinkled in when I'm really wanting football. Those are like the 4 games I play. So I want to try and get I'm really excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. That's the only game that keeps coming to mind when I'm thinking of stuff that's coming out next year. But I know there's a good amount of stuff that should be coming. There was an article on the front page
WWE
of Polygon.
2K19 is coming out next year.
I still have 2K16 and I've been playing that. Like, so, I don't know. What did you guys come up with? Grunt, what did you come up with?
Well, I definitely one idea was to play more games that are current, like you said, but also as cliche as this will sound, it is most likely to finish the backlog of games I have. I have games from 2 years ago that I got for Christmas that I haven't finished. Battlefield 1, got it last year. It sits there. Assassin's Creed Origins, I'm not even a third of the way through that, and it's going to be 2018. There's several other games. Dishonored 2, haven't finished that one, so there's still a chance you could beat me.
Yeah, that bet's still going,
ongoing bet. Yes, it is.
So, when does that bet end? Because I picked neither of you doing it, and I really want to win.
It ends when one of us plays it.
No, that can't do that.
You picked a really bad bet.
No.
Like when you're selecting the option to bet, you don't pick the one that says auto lose. And that's exactly what you do.
But if you guys just like never win, and we're like in our 60s, right? If like none of you do it,
I'm okay with
just
that.
give me the $5.
That's plenty of time.
Okay.
Like I'll give you $50. I'll give you $5 when we're 60, easily.
Remember this.
I
just
won't.
show up to wherever you're living.
I'm kind of banking on me not remembering that. I don't remember shit that happened 2 days ago. How am I going to remember when I'm 60? I owe you $5.
Joke's on you because I'm writing it down.
The Notebook never lies.
That was an awful movie.
Also, 2018 resolution that I literally just thought of now as I mentioned the Facebook play more D&D.
I need to write my steampunk campaign.
I need to finish mine. I need to get started on mine. I mean,
we actually need to finish playing my campaign that we've been playing for like 2 years.
So many good times. Long live the duck.
Yeah.
Is that the same campaign where you gave me a level 9 scroll and I just fucking...
Yeah, it's still the same campaign.
You annihilated
like 2 seconds.
Entire royal bloodline.
Yeah, it's still the same one, yeah.
So yeah, my resolution would be, similar to yours, play more games that are current, and then try and tackle some of the games on the backlog. So Freakshow can lose.
I have a lot of those backwards compatible games that I need to tackle because I worked my way through Red Dead Redemption. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. Darksiders 1, I got a couple rounds into, but then I have like Bayonetta. I have fucking all the Gears of War games that I bought for like $5 each. I have there's a bunch of games down there that I really need to play and want to play. The Fallout games, I played a little bit more in New Vegas, but I need to get that going.
I hate red scorpions.
I hate Yaoguais.
So, what about you, Freakshow?
Basically, play more games that are current.
Get your own resolution, jackass.
Shut the fuck up! I'm getting there. You piece of shit.
Ow.
Other than that,
of the freaking decade right here.
Other than that, I would like to hit like 90,000 gamer score by the end of next year.
Dude, I totally forgot about gamerscore. Like, I don't know what happened. I used to really want gamerscore, and then I just completely gave up on it. I figured it'd just come naturally with me playing games.
I just use that as a gauge to see how many new games I've actually played.
Can I get like music listening score? I mean, I have 2,000 songs on my phone. Is that enough? Do I need more? Less? It's actually more than 2,000, but my main playlist has 2,000.
1 point for every minute of those songs.
You don't even want to know what that times out at.
We do though.
Every minute? It is
1 point for every minute for each.
Okay, hold on. We're going to calculate this. Freakshow, keep talking.
So, Grunt, what did you think about the Grammys?
I mean, man, who likes R&B? I have to agree.
I was expecting a much larger number.
Metal, it always gets shunned, and when it doesn't, they always say the wrong artist. God, or they play the wrong woke up music. Shut up.
Like Justin Wong, the fighting games player that used to play for the Evil Geniuses, but now is somewhere else that I don't know.
Sure.
That guy. Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Have you finished calculating, or?
Yeah, I finished it.
Okay.
My if it's a point per minute, my gamer score is 11,269.
Thought it'd be higher.
That's what I said. Like if we want to go seconds, it's 676,000. So that feels much better.
It's better. You're about halfway there to beat. Who is the guy that has a million gamer score on Xbox Live?
Stallion 83.
Yeah.
He actually got beat like a couple months ago.
So I remember the guys for Achievement Hunter had like 500,000 back in like 2010. I imagine they probably cleared a million a while ago.
No, Ray has like 700,000 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Ray's no longer an Achievement Hunter either, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like 700, 800,000.
Because my buddy was like, "Oh, I want to be an Achievement Hunter, so I got to do all the achievement stuff and get to like 200,000 gamer score so I can apply." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
What?
Yeah, that was his line of thinking. I never said he was smart. That was his line of thinking.
Oh god.
Okay. So our resolution is to just play more games, because obviously our games of the year were like, we played like 2. So those 2.
Right?
The
counts.
gist of this podcast, this nonsensical bullshit podcast that we're doing right now, like, Jesus Christ, what was this podcast? It's now an hour and 6 minutes, which is not. We've had longer. We've had hour and 30 before, which was.
We've had,
E3,
I believe, our post E3 episode of like last year, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost at 2 hours long.
It was a long one, and that was before we were really sensible about time and getting into a more condensed format. So
it's before we actually cared about time.
Yeah, we were just fucking talking. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing now, but it's more entertaining and it didn't take as long. So,
I just want to say I love the more laid back episodes like this.
I know, I do too, and it really helps that we're just all kind of chilling, seeing our faces, and it's just pure audio. It might be better to just do this from now on instead of videos.
Heck, I actually have the equipment. I can do it.
What?
I just can't do fancy stuff. Record at least audio.
Yeah, and it's probably easier to do that. I can just use Audacity to do that, I'm pretty sure. Even though the whole reason
OBS does it.
The whole reason we did video is because I couldn't get the pure audio working. That's the irony of this conversation, by the way.
Oh my
we should
God.
just go back
That's
to audio
true.
only. Wait a minute. The whole reason we could, it was just a
The whole reason we're
Audacity.
doing the video podcast is so I can get the what?
The dark days of the podcast are over. We don't need to talk about that.
No, we're nearing 100.
I know, we're 10 episodes away from 100, and I don't know what episode the podcast gained sentience, but apparently it's been so quality that we just breathed life into it. So.
The Destiny 2, the original Destiny 2 episode.
Is that when it gained sentience?
Yes.
What the fuck do you know that off the top of your head?
Yeah, I was just about to ask the same thing. The creator of the podcast doesn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't even fucking know. What the? Okay.
But that is cool.
What else do you know, Freakshow? Just curious.
Like about what? I know that
I don't
Stallion 83 has like 1.7 million gamer score because I just looked that up.
I'm more talking about Frantic Talks. Because apparently the sentient state. What else you got?
Which do I need to look at Freakshow?
Which Tuesday of the month was when we posted the last Frantic versus Freak? No, that would have been a Friday. What Tuesday of the month?
What? Okay.
I'm just spouting nonsense, man. All right.
What was the very first thing that Frantic posted on the Frantic Talks website?
I can tell
A
you
dick
that.
pic.
That's not what it was.
Whoa! I don't even want to know how you know that.
Close, but wrong. It was actually a hi, welcome to Frantic Talks post.
So you can remember that, but you can't remember what episode the podcast gained sentience?
Dude, I the only reason I know the Steven Totillo episode is because I went back and found it and posted it as the pinned episode. That's the only reason I don't know
That's
anything
amazing.
else. Because I know it's episode 62 because I went back and looked. By the way, that was fucking 20, what is that, 28 episodes ago? It's been that long. It's been over half a year since we did, like, longer than that, since I raged at Steven Totillo. That jackass.
I could tell you the date of the first podcast I was on.
Well, that's a memorable moment. I'd almost expect you to do that.
It's also my birthday, so.
Oh,
well.
okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
So, all right, so I think that about does it though. So let us know what you guys are thinking for your games of the year, along with any gaming resolutions you may or may not have, or just New Year's resolutions in general. That'd be kind of cool too. I could tell you any of the ones I have.
Take more pictures.
Yeah, yours is take more pictures. I definitely
Have a happy Rusev Day.
I already have that. I don't need to rev a resolution about that.
Isn't Rusev Day every day though?
Yes,
It is, and I want one of those T-shirts,
Me
but
too.
they're so popular they don't have any more in stock.
So when I go to the WWE event in March, I really hope I get something really there. Like they have some really cool shirts or something.
I hope you get a happy Rusev Day shirt.
I'm just excited because of what it said would be all the people showing up, like that 5-man match for the title. That looks amazing. I want to see everyone in that ring. Off topic. Anyways, let us know what your resolution is, what you think about
this, like any of this podcast has really been on topic.
Parts of it.
You're right. But let us know what you think about the swatting.
Like how that was placed after what I said, so it's just like an open statement.
Yeah, you guys were right. You ain't wrong.
Who were you addressing?
Yeah, but like I said, let us know what you guys think about everything we mentioned. Top games of the year, resolutions, if any. Doesn't matter if it's gaming or not. I'll encourage you to keep doing them. I don't like the stigma of resolutions not actually being followed through. Even though they're not, I still would encourage someone. And also let us know what you think about the swatting thing, and hell, what the hell you thought about this nonsense episode that has lasted an hour and 11 minutes now. Let's wrap it up in 2 minutes, guys. All right, let's just shit talk all for another 20 minutes. So,
I mean, we could probably do that if we wanted to.
We
but
can just go into the
two
after
in
show
there
at this
somewhere.
point. Just like turn it off, continue streaming on the after show. Like, oh, anyways, guys.
Yeah, just change the title. It'll be the Frantic.
I have an after show setting on the OBS, but
oh man,
Jesus.
we need to do an after show.
it's not configured for what we're doing currently. So
You're not configured for what we're doing currently.
What kind of insult is that? That's twice now. You just literally spouted bullshit out of your mouth, and you're like, "Oh fuck you, I got him! I fucking got him!" And it's not even. All right,
Oh my God.
this is getting out of hand.
I'm surprised you didn't just like beat my ass while I was sleeping when I was staying there for all the stupid shit I've done.
I'm not a violent person. I'll shoot people in games, but I ain't gonna fight somebody. Even especially not
you
in
wouldn't
defenseless.
fight me. Yeah, you wouldn't fight me. There'd be no fighting back. So you just would have beat the shit out of me.
I ain't gonna do that.
Fight me, Frantic.
I ain't
No.
that type of girl.
Fight me, Frantic. No. Fight me, Frantic.
So, all right.
Freakshow. Get in your corner and chop.
So if you guys want to, just go over there. Just stay over there. If you guys want to, let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter. I'm at FranticJ3. We got at Freakshow187 and at Onyx Spartan is Grunt. ONYX Spartan, all one word. Facebook.com/Frantic Talks, Twitch.tv/Frantic Talks, and FranticTalks.com. Frantic Talks, all one word, and every single thing I just mentioned. Where you can find everything that we just mentioned in the footer, all that fun stuff. All our articles and podcasts, all posted on the respective outlets. Twitch.tv live every Saturday, usually at 3 p.m. Eastern. Usually won't be live next Saturday, but after that we should get back into the swing of things in a normal schedule. Hopefully the video is working by then, or we'll have switched to pure audio, and it will probably just get funnier from whatever happens, man. I ain't gonna.
New year, new podcast.
New year, new podcast. Maybe that's what we need to do. The New Year's Apocalypse is gonna be the name of this episode. I like that name because of everything that's happened in this fucking episode. Just destroys the podcast and it becomes audio only. Right.
Oh man! All right, I know exactly how I'm going to post this.
Jesus fucking Christ! Our podcast has its own lore, guys. This is getting out of hand. You know what? No, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it having its own lore. We have our own little like fucking world in FVF, and the podcast is sentient. It's this gimmick. It has its own lore and a backstory to how it all happened. We even know the date apparently, and the episode. And now it's just blown up, and we'll rebuild. Hashtag rebuild. Hashtag broken. All right.
Oh my God, this is going to be so great.
So, yeah, I think that about does it. Let us know what you guys think about everything, like I was saying. Hit us up on all those links. Unless you guys got any other bullshit to add to this, I think we're about done here.
What about the Grammys? Why them?
Don't get me started again. We almost closed it. We're at an hour and 15, and you're like, "Hey, Jordan, Frantic, talk for another 15 fucking minutes."
All right.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
What about those Grammys, though?
All right, I'm ending this. We can do that on the after show. All right.
Oh man.
All right. With that being said, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know who won the Frantic versus Freakshow episode 7. The Rubber Ducky Death Squad apparently tried to tell us, but it lied. Let us know what you guys think of all that, and any predictions on that would be really cool too, because we always leave a lot of the mysterious mystery. Let us know what you think of that shit. And yeah, about does it. FranticTalks.com, get all the links and everything. And if you can't find us for whatever reason, and it's not working, I don't know why. You just can't seem to find us 110 times out of 10, Grunt, what can they do?
Direct themselves to the nearest search engine and just search Frantic Talks, and you'll find us, and hopefully not find porn.
You won't find my original dick pic. We can tell you that much.
That was what Frantic used to test the site out. It was just a dick pic. See if it showed up.
It wasn't a logo. It was just a dick.
Oh my god.
Now it's
all right,
cool.
that's...
It wasn't even a dick. It was just like Microsoft Paint, and he just wrote "dick pic" on it, and that's all it was.
Just took a little dick butt and threw it up there. All right, guys.
Oh my god.
Live every Saturday, usually at 3 p.m. Eastern, usually twitch.tv/Frantic Talks, all one word. Join in the conversation, the nonsense that's happening right now. That is always happening. And
Be part of Frantic Talks history.
Be part of Frantic Talks history. January 13th, we should be back. January 13th. Mark that date in your calendars. We're probably going audio only by then. It's way too much effort to get this fucking browser and shit going. I was unnecessarily stressed going into this shit.
Anymore, it's becoming too much.
Basically. All right, guys. That about does it for us. That's about it. Unless you guys got anything to add? No? Yes? No? Maybe so?
Nope.
No.
Freakshow's waiting.
All right. Well, I'm Frantic.
I'm Grunt.
I'm Freakshow.
We'll see you guys next time.
Virtual wave.